Starting a company with your friends and colleagues is exciting. You have lots of ideas for your product and how you want to change an industry. You can't wait to get busy building an MVP and raising funds to bring your MVP to the market. The to-do list seems endless and there are just so many things to work on that nobody will have any time to lose. One thing not to forget at this point is that you will most likely need to adjust your plans. That's just how it goes. It's perfectly normal that your initial ideas don't work out the way you expected. When that happens, it is a challenge for the team. You might need to make fundamental adjustments. And not everyone may see things the same way. At this point, it is important to have a stable foundation as a team, something that keeps the team together. A bigger, longer-term idea of what you want to achieve together. Something that goes beyond a specific product idea, which may work or may not work. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we will try to give you some inspiration for conversations with your co-founders, which will ideally help you all create a more solid foundation for your collaboration. Especially in the early days, it probably feels like you have no time for this. But building a company is a long and intense process, and it is definitely worth taking a few moments to create alignment as a team and strengthen the foundation of your company.
So where to begin? When choosing co-founders, it's crucial to align on values. What is important to you as a leader? What should your company stand for? It helps asking yourself, what would make you proud to hear people describe your company's culture as? How do you want to put these values into action? All of these questions are something you have to first get straight for yourself. This requires brutal honesty, because only this way will you identify the things that are not negotiable for you. It is never a good idea to compromise on values, especially as you will most probably work with your co-founders for years to come. So have these discussions right from the start. Then continue to discuss the reason why you're here in the first place. What really motivates you personally to found this company? What impact do you want to have? What are your true objectives? Each of you might have different reasons that you weigh differently. Some want to solve a personal challenge. Others are more driven by the desire to help a community. And still others are primarily driven by money. Understanding these motivations helps you to understand whether you're really a match.
Motivations also change over time. For me personally, for example, the initial motivation was that we had a piece of technology that was obviously valuable, and I loved the challenge of turning it into something that didn't just work in the lab, but was viable commercially in the market. Later, my motivation changed a bit and building teams has become more important. I find it super rewarding to see how teams form and perform, and of course the responsibility that I feel towards the much bigger organization that our one small startup has become is also an important motivator.
In addition to sharing your personal motivations, it's important to discuss each founder's vision for the company and ensure these can be aligned into one unified one. Creating a shared vision that aligns with each founder's goals is crucial. A shared vision not only ensures that everyone is working towards the same objectives, but it also fosters mutual support, especially during tough times. This shared vision guides decision-making and highlights where compromises can be made without compromising on the core pillars. It unites the founders and keeps the focus on the long-term success of the company.
Connected to that is another question that I would recommend you discuss. When do you consider the company a success? Is it when it becomes a profitable, self-sustained business? Or is it when you have grown your company to 50 people and sell it to a larger player in the field? Is it an IPO? Or would you consider an acqui-hire a success? In other words, would everyone be happy if a company like Apple, Google or Meta offered to buy your startup primarily because of the team members and their skills and not really because of your product? Or does success for you imply that your company reaches a certain level of ARR? Being successful in specific markets, or that it has a certain number of employees? All of these questions are starting points for conversations with your co-founders that will hopefully allow you to align on everyone's individual expectations.
As Christoph hinted, there are different ways to grow. You could aim to become a company that's listed on the stock exchange, or could aim to become a small to medium profitable business. It's crucial that you as the founding team are aligned on this, as it will heavily impact which funding route you go, bootstrapped versus VC-backed, etc. But also what the pace and the priorities during the years ahead are. Let's say one person wants to create a company that grows sustainably and can, if things turn out great, be handed over to the next generation. The other person, instead, wants to grow at all costs, make as much money as possible in the shortest amount of time. Probably two views that aren't compatible with each other, and it might be better to part ways and look for other co-founders. At Yokoy, for example, it was clear for all of 5 co-founders from the very beginning that we want to conquer the world, go big or go home, and hence also go the VC route. For others, it might make much more sense to grow organically and bootstrapped. There is no right or wrong, as it really depends on the individual startup case. The only thing that matters is that you as founders all have the same understanding of where the journey is going.
When discussing these questions, you will probably also start talking about the time that it takes to achieve your goals. Not everyone on the team may have the same expectations. For one of your co-founders, it may be clear that they will want to invest as many years as it takes to become self-sustained. For your other co-founder, it may be clear that they don't want to invest more than 2 years. Talking about this is a good thing. It will help you align and manage expectations within the founding team, but also with investors and employees. You may not always be fully aligned, and every co-founder's personal view may change over time. The important thing is to have the conversation and reach a shared and realistic view of how long things might take. I would also encourage you to really take a bit of time to get to know your co-founders, not just on a professional, but also on a personal level. If things turn out well, these will be the people you will be collaborating with intensely over a fairly long time. Building a company with others sometimes feels a bit like a marriage. So you want to make sure you're off to a good start. And to strengthen your personal relationship, you could do something fun together, like a city trip or a hiking weekend. This can be a great way to get to know each other and to establish trust and understanding.